Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Zerx here, and today we're going to go over laborers. Now, laborers are a great way of making passive income in Albion Online, and to be honest, they are quite simple to set up, but a lot of people don't realize how to optimize your income from laborers. So, what I'm going to go through today is just the basics of how to set it up, what they need, what types of furniture you will need for the laborers, and how to get the best return from them. So, let's jump in. Okay, so once you buy an island, you will have plots of land. As you can see here, I have set up my plots of land to all have in the building sections these houses. Now, these houses are where you're going to place your laborers. So on this island, you can see the different tiers of houses that I have. So I have current T6 houses, in this section, and I have T5 houses. While I'm on here, I'm going to upgrade these level 5 and just go over a few things, why we should upgrade and how to get the best returns from these laborers. So one thing laborers are going to need when you build houses is laborers need beds to sleep in. So you will need a bed for each individual laborer, so 3 beds in this case. You will need trophies that increase their happiness, and tables also will increase their happiness. So all this furniture together will increase the happiness of these laborers, which is key to getting the best returns. Now these trophies here are called generalist trophies. Now you basically will have a tier. So I have tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5 because these are tier 5 laborers, which I'm going to upgrade now in a second. And once they become tier 6, I need to add a tier 6 trophy. Now all of this furniture, as you can see by the red, is all tier 5. So it's currently tier 5 furniture because it's in a tier 5 house. So if I just click on this labor here, for example, you can see the happiness is, it's fine. He has returned goods to me, which I'll take now in a second. And up the top, you will be able to see how they're leveling. So currently, these have changed to tier 6. Master Tinkers. So these are currently Tinkers that I'm using at the moment. If I was just to select this now, I can put a journal in and the journal returns 110%. Even though the house is level 5, the labor is level 6, it won't yield me 150%. So how do I get 150%? To get 150%, you need to level the house past what journals you want to give it. So if you want a lot of tier 5 materials at 150%, your house needs to be level 6 and your labor needs to be level 6. So for example, I'm just going to change this or take this down for a second, and I'm going to upgrade this house. So if I come into here, you can upgrade the house by going on this tab and you can see what you need. So I have all the selection for the 3 houses here. So I'm going to add my blocks. And once I add my blocks, they're thrown there and throw up. And then the house is upgraded. So this is now a tier 6 house, which makes the laborers hopefully happy. Now the beds are tier 5. So if I click onto the laborer here, you will see the happiness here. So this happiness is key to be able to get the best results. So the happiness I can increase. Currently it's 520 out of 700. So it's not going to yield me the best results. So I'm going to change all these beds. If I take up all these beds now, I'll take this table and I'm going to replace them with a tier 6 or tier 6 furniture. So I just place down the beds here. Now you can set up your house in any way you wish. I have all of my houses set up pretty much the same way just because I can run in and grab my laborers for all the islands. I do have 4 islands that I'm running at the moment and I would put a lot more if, in time. So I put down my 3 beds, I put down my table, and now I put down the tier 6 encyclopedia. Well, it looked like an encyclopedia, it might not be. Mage book, who knows? So now that all the furniture is upgraded, it will start to increase the happiness. So you can see here, it is starting to increase the happiness back over the next 10 hours. Now this does mean if I give this labor a journal now, it's still going to be 110%. That's because the happiness hasn't had time to raise for the laborer to bring that back. So what I do is I don't mind sending this away because it's going to still yield me 110%. So I'm going to send him off and I send this one advanced to tier 6. See, again, he's a tier 6 in a tier 6 house, but because his happiness has not reached the level that it needs to be, he's still returning 110%. So once you have the happiness increased and you have the houses all upgraded to tier 6, if I give the labourer a tier 5 journal, it will give me 150%. And I'll show you with some of my other upgraded houses how that would look. So if I just run over here, so I've upgraded all these to tier 6. Now these laborers are currently, you can see this labor is already tier 7, so it's on its way to tier 8, but I want tier 5 materials. So to get the tier 5 materials, their happiness is increased. I have all tier 6 items and a tier 6 house. So if I give them a journal here, it's returning 150%, which is the most I can get. Now what I could do is upgrade the house to a level, say a level 7 house, because it's a level 7 tinker. And then if I was to give the tinker a level 6 book, so if I was to give it a level 6 book, I would then get 150% for tier 6 items. So ideally what you want to do, and I'll put it up on screen now, is you want to have the house, the furniture, a tier higher than what you're trying to get 150% from. So if I want tier 6 at 150%, I need a tier 7 house, and I need tier 7 furniture to be able to give that labourer the journal and yield back 150% of the materials. As I've upgraded this house, I do need to upgrade these other houses. One thing to note as well, when you create houses in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, once you create a tier 5 house, you will be able to get 3 laborers. Now, 3 laborers are the max you can have for a house. So if I was to suggest, or you were doing islands and you wanted to make money from laborers, try and at least get to a level 5 house. Once you have a level 5 house, you get 3 laborers instead of 2, so your returns obviously will be higher. Just for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through all the islands, take all the materials, and then we'll try and make some money. Now, one thing I do want to go over is the journals. Now, journals come in 2 forms. You have what's called a generalist trophy, and you have the tinker's journal. Because this is a tinker, this is what I can buy. The generalist trophy can be used in many ways, because a generalist trophy will be filled up by any activity in Albion Online which will give you fame. So you think about it, you don't have to go out, gather materials, you don't have to buy the materials to start crafting, tinkering items. You can have these, you can do anything, whether it be, picking some crops over here, even building the houses on the island, which I forgot to do when I was upgrading them. You can fill these trophies, and then you can give the trophies back to the labourer, which will start leveling the labourers for you. You do lose a slight bit on if you were to give them a tinkering journal. I tested it, I think it used to be that they give you more for generous trophies. I don't think it's the case now. When I tested it, it was just a slight bit lower than giving them the actual tinkering journal. So this is another way where you can level your laborers up to where you need them to be, and then you can start generating the income through the materials. So keep that in mind when you're leveling, that you don't have to keep buying the materials or crafting all the time to fill these journals. Use these generalist trophies. The way I would fill my generalist trophies is by refining. So I refine quite a lot on another character, and by refining can give you a lot of fame. So that's how I fill my trophies. So it's good to keep that in mind. Okay, so I've gathered all the materials from my laborers. I did have 57 laborers, so tinkering laborers that were returning results at 150%, and I had 9 at 110%. So what I'm going to do is, with these numbers, I'm just going to go to the market here in Martlock and see how much we would generate if we were just to sell this directly. Now I will put them down as sell orders because I don't believe in selling to buy orders. I think it's a waste of time. You are gathering the materials, so you want to earn the most money you can from these materials. Okay, so I've worked out how much I can make if I sell the raw resources, and I'm going to put them up on screen now so you can see what each one currently is valued. Now this is Albion, so the markets are fluctuating, so it won't be the same probably when you're looking at it. So that's the raw resources, which is pretty good. I mean, at the moment it's 893,183 silver, which I mean, who's going to turn their nose up? But there's one thing to take into consideration if you're selling just the pure materials. You won't make as much money because you're not actually filling the journals. So the journals you receive back, so you receive a journal back for every labourer that you, when they give you materials, they will give you a journal back. So I have 66 journals. So if I was to sell all that, I would then have to obviously buy journals. So if I come in here and have a look at how much journals are going for tinkerers, okay, so 7,000, so let's do 66 here. Okay, so it's going to cost me 485,000 to buy all of those journals, well, full journals to give back to my laborers. So by crafting, I can at least make some of that back. So I'm going to put obviously the difference between what we would make for the raw resources minus this. Now there is another option that you can do if you don't want to, craft, if you just want to sell it for the raw resources, is you can sell the empty Tinker's journals that you've been given back. So I would make the, whatever it is, the 400,000, and then I can actually sell the Tinker's journals. So I can sell these. So currently they're going for 3.3. If I was to sell all 66, I make another 216,000. So on top of that, I'm making close to 600-ish thousand, 700,000. I mean, to be more on point, I'll put it up on the screen now. Um, but that's a decent return. I mean, for doing that, I'm buying journals. I don't have to fill them. I'm starting to make money. But how much would I make if I was to craft with all this stuff? To fill these tinkering journals, I do need to use a tinkering location. Now, if you notice or how familiar you are with Albion Online, is every city has a resource or something that is a bonus for each city. So for example, Martlock has a bonus here. If you refine hide, you get a percentage back. If you create axes, quarterstaffs, frostaffs, etc., etc. So it's better to always craft in the cities that you're trying to craft the item for. Now, I'm based out of Martlock. If I was to change, I would buy my islands in Carleon, and the reason being is Carleon has a return for tinkering tools, so your tools here. So when I create anything in the tinkering section, I can get materials back, so there is a bonus there. So if you want to make, as I suppose, the most money, I would build or craft the tinkering tools there. Now I'm not, so I'm only going to do it off Martlock. You will still make a money gain from building even outside Carleon. Now otherwise I could transport all my produce over to Carleon, create them there, pull them out of Carleon, and then go and sell them in the different royals. I'm not going to do that for the sake of this video. I don't usually do that. That's why the islands are here. I do chop and change between tinkering laborers, blacksmith laborers, fletchers, anything like that. So I do change depending on how the markets go. Now, another thing as well before I go and craft is grab your journals. So your generalist trophy journals, it's always good to have them in because they will fill even if you're trying to fill other journals. Now, I don't give generalist trophy journals to my laborers anymore because I have them at a position I want. But I'm gonna do, well, look, I have 100 of these, so let's do 100 of these. I won't fill all of them, but you'll get the idea. So let's go out. Let's see, 54. Now, it's important to try and see the tax on these tinkering stations. Now, these have gone up. These were down at 10% last month. Now we have all new ones put in and they've gone to the same price or the same tax as Fort Sterling. So that's a bit annoying. So I won't make as much money. And what you're looking for here is the usage fee. Around this section, you can see the fees are not that much more than out here, but towards the end of the month when everyone's adding new buildings, is people that own these will put up to huge tax fees, so just watch out for that when you are trying to craft. Let's go down to this guy and see. If you want to make as much as you can from these laborers, I would suggest using focus. If you don't know how to use focus, I will have a video coming out on focus and how to use it, I suppose, as efficient as you can. But in the meantime, let's just run down here. Now you're thinking between say 52 and 51%, I mean what is the difference, but every little helps at the end of the day, so always go for the lowest tax. Okay, so let's see what we can make. So I'm just going to click on this button here which shows me everything that's craftable. So I can make, all of these tools, I can make bags, I can make some gathering gear, some furniture if I wanted to, and repair kits. Now the way I look at this, it will change. The market's forever changing, so it doesn't really matter what I show you, what I create here. You will have to find the market for yourself. One thing that I have noticed from tools and different things is you could sell a tool here for say 9,000 and you could go to Limhurst and there'd be one there for like 15,000. So you're thinking, okay, I'll transport all my stock there, but because they fluctuate, you need to understand the markets. So I suppose how I make money is just by looking, okay, what's selling for the most money, and I will just build that accordingly. Okay, so I've jumped onto my alt and I've checked out the market here in Matlock. By the looks of it, stone hammers and skinning knives are roughly going around 9.5k each. That is pretty common for most markets. They do fluctuate, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to sell them here. So what I will do is I can make 55 stone hammers from the resources we've got back with a resource return rate of 15.2%. Now this will increase, I think, to 24 if you're using this in Carleon. So you do have that little extra bonus if you're in Carleon. If you have focus, which obviously I'm maxed out here because I hadn't logged on, I would suggest using focus for certain things like this. If you're spending the focus on nothing else, I won't be spending my focus on crafting here because I'm using my focus to refine stone for my building. So that's why I'm not using focus this time. But you can see here, I get a nice resource return rate of 43%, so I can continue to make and craft multiple items. And that's where you really make your money, is by being able to get a bigger return on your materials to make more items. That's how crafters make their money, through using focus like this. So I'm just going to turn this off. So 55 stone hammers. I don't want to do 55 because it's going to saturate the market. I probably won't be able to sell that many. So let's do half of these for stone hammers. I think I'm going to do half for stone hammers and half for, what was it, skinning knives. One thing also when you're crafting, say, tools, for example, is each city is linked to an area in the black zone. So Martlock is currently zoned into this blue section here. Now, if you look around here, these are all stone biomes. You have wood biomes here, more stone and cloth, for example, or fiber. There's fiber biomes here. So there's a mixture, but primarily it's all stone. So stone hammers might sell quite well here. Skinning lives, not so much, maybe. And the same goes for different zones. So you have the Bridgewater section here. That's hide. So you have all the desert biomes for hide. So there's huge levels of hide here, and so on and so forth. So you have, lots of forest. You have for metal and different things, and then cloth or sorry, fiber up here. So take that into consideration when you are selling in certain markets, what people are going to be buying more of, and then you will sell more of, because you don't want to put items on the market which are not going to sell. Now, most of the time, a lot of these will sell anyway. You're going to find that once you put it up, just leave them there. Leave them there for a few days. You're not going to sell all of these. I'm not going to sell all of these in 24 hours, but they will slowly sell. You're going to get undercut here and there. Most of the time, you will make money just by leaving them there. So don't get too drawn or suckered into constantly undercutting people and editing your buy orders or sell orders. Just leave them there, and they will tick away for you. So let's just craft the rest of these. Stone hammers, let's get 7 more in there. Okay, now this is only using 2 type of resources here, so this is quite good. I still have 51 metal left, all of my wood is gone. You could, if you didn't want to fill Tinkering Journals, so that's filled 19, and it has filled my generalist trophies as well. So I'm currently filling 2 trophies at once. I can put these back on the market, I can sell them, I can make a bit of profit. I could even sell these if I wanted to, but they're going to go back into my island, so I won't at this time. You could, because it gives a lot of wood back, there is a lot of weapons that use wood, such as bows and crossbows and everything like that. So you could, instead of filling these tinkering journals, use them for different journals or different crafting and go off and craft bows. So the next thing is then, so all the tools, I've made as many tools as I can make for the resources I have. I can't make any more. So then I go to the next tab and I search, okay, what's going to make me more money in this tab? I'm checking the market to see what is currently selling. Warrior backpacks at the moment are selling for quite a lot of money. I think 16,000. It fluctuates. I mean, it goes up and down. So do watch the markets. I will have a guide on markets and understanding the markets to get your most back. But in this case, if I wasn't refining my blocks, I would use focus on the bags. The bags do sell, extremely well. So keep that in mind. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to craft them here. And I'm going all for Courier backpacks because, Skinners are actually pretty good. Skinner backpacks are selling for 14,000 at the moment. But I'm going to try the risk and try and saturate it a bit. Now, I've made a couple of different quality ones with these types of things, with tools, unlike weapons. It does matter. It will give the gatherer a better item power. as you would happen in armor, but it doesn't really make a huge difference. You don't sell them as much as you would if you created a, an excellent axe, for example. So just to keep that in mind. So I've built all my Quarrier backpacks. I'm going to change to, so that's all the bag section gone. I'm going to change then so I can make harvester caps, I can make miner and Quarrier garbs and cap. Okay, Quarrier work boots are not too bad, so I'll make a few of those. They're at 9,000 at the moment. So let's make a few of those with the remaining metal. So again, these have the chance to upgrade as well, as you can see. I'll make some more. Okay, that's that gone. Let's see, the harvester ones. There's not much there in terms of making money off those. The garb's probably the best. They're going for 9,000 at the moment. So let's build the rest or craft the rest of those. Let's get those done and the rest. Okay. Now the reason it's showing and it's grayed out is I can make some, but that's because I have um, the point ones and the point twos, so it's still showing, but I won't use this for gathering gear. I'd probably use this for different items and other stuff I'm crafting. I would very rarely or if never use it on gathering stuff. And there we go. So we have all our items. So you can see all our items here. We have all our tools. We have our backpacks. We have filled 31 journals. So we filled just under half of the journals I needed for my laborers. So I still need 34 journals from somewhere. And we can do the cost on that. I filled 20 of these generalist trophy journals, which I can then sell. So let's go see how much money we would make this way. So I'm back at the market here and I'm gonna put them all up for sale as sell orders because you obviously make a lot more. Um, Looking on the market, I mean, I could put them higher. So like it's selling, okay, it's selling not too bad. A bit lower here. So I'm just gonna throw them up here for pretty much all of the items, and then I will put up on screen what you can see and how much they're selling for, and then we'll get a total at the end. So bear with me and I'll throw these together now. Okay, so I've put all the items that we've crafted up for sale, so you can see them on screen now. How much I would technically make from all of them if they were to sell at this value, and the total down below. And so that's a considerable amount of money just from crafting the items. Now, if I used Focus, I would have been able to create more. If I was in Carlion, I would have got more resources back because of the bonus to the city. So there's a good amount of silver to be made. Now the benefits of crafting is instead of selling the raw resources, I've only used the flat level 5 items. So I still have the point ones, the point twos, and I could go on and sell these materials at just the raw value. So what I will do is I just throw up on screen how much that would add on top of what I've crafted. The way I would do it is I actually keep all these and I craft other stuff in different trees, but you could still make money. Now, a benefit from this as well is you have your generalist trophies, which you've bought from your laborer to start with. I filled 20 of these. I could sell these on again and make a bit of profit there. I'm not too sure how much they are off the laborer, but let's say, okay, you make an extra 27,000 there. I have filled 31, so that's good. I filled just under half of the tinkering journals I need to fill all of my laborers on 2 islands. Again, if I use focus, I would have made more. But what I can do then is I can sell these journals as discussed before, so I could sell those for another 111,000. So it adds up, and once you do the math on it, which I'll put on screen now, it's a huge amount of money you can be making per day off these laborers. It's no secret, everyone is doing this. The markets will not, well, they will drop, and they might drop for a few items with this video, but this video is more for people to understand how to profit and how to set up the laborers, because when I started and somebody explained it to me, it made no sense. From doing this, you can see the benefits of having laborers, having islands, because let's be serious, the only thing you can use an island for is houses and farming. You're never going to build buildings on it to use or craft on because they're a waste of time. So guys, that's my guide on laborers. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like. I'll be doing more videos in the coming week on this type of content, so if you want to see more, press that subscribe button, click the bell icon for the next video coming soon. Thanks for watching.